Okay, the topic is determining odd and even functions. So first we need to know the definition of even and odd. F is called even if f of negative x is equal f of x. So we need to check for even function if f of negative x is equal f of x for all x in the domain, of course. Now same thing, f is called odd if f of negative x is equal minus f of x. In other words, this is what the equality that we need to check for odd functions. And this is for all x in the domain of f. So let's do example 1. F of x is equal to 3x7 minus 2x. So first, let's check for even, if the function is even. To check for even, these two things we need to do. We need to know what is f of negative x, and we need to know what is f of x. And we need to compare them. If they are the same thing, then we say it's even. If they're not the same thing, we say it's odd. So what does it mean, f of negative x? Remember, the input is whatever is between parentheses, is negative x. So you take our input, negative x, and plug it in into the function. Plug it in means 3 times negative x7, means replace x by negative x. Minus 2, replace x by negative x. That's what we mean with f of negative x. Now here, because 7 is odd, the negative stays. So this becomes minus 3x7, and then the minus becomes plus, so plus 2x. So in other words, we're using this. If you have minus x to an odd exponent like 7, this becomes minus x7. If we have minus x to, for example, 4, an even exponent, this becomes x4. In other words, the negative disappears. Every two x's will cancel each other. So this is kind of just an example. Now, f of x is right here. All I need to do is just kind of write it down. 3x7 minus 2x. Now I'm comparing this to this. Definitely they're not the same. We have a minus plus, and the other one we have plus minus. So now I can say this. F of negative x is not equal to f of x. Therefore, f is not an even function, is not even. Right? So this is the answer. F is not even. Now let's check for odd. Now I need to do this time f of negative x, and I need to find minus f of x, and I need to compare them. This is what I'm doing right here. F of negative x, we just did it. It's right here. It's the same thing. It's minus 3x7 plus 2x. We just did it. Now what is minus f of x? Minus f of x means a negative 1 times f of x. In other words, it's a minus, and f of x is like multiplying your function by negative 1. My function is, where is my function? Right here. So it's 3x7 minus 2x. If you multiply it by negative 1, you distribute, you get minus 3x7, minus becomes plus 2x. See, now if you compare it, it's the same. This and this are the same. Now I can say f of negative x is equal minus f of x. Therefore, f is odd. So the answer is function is odd. It's not even, but it's odd. Now same thing for the second example too. We need to check for even, and we need to check for odd. For even, we need to check if f of negative x is equal f of x, right? So let's do f of negative x first. G, our function is g, so let's use g, same thing, just different name. So g of negative x means whatever you see x, you plug in negative x, so negative x4 minus 3 and negative x8. Now, since the exponent is even, negative x4 is the same thing as x4 minus 3. Negative x to the 8 is the same thing as x to the 8. Now g of x, I'm just writing it down, g of x is x4 minus 3x8. Now if you compare g of x and g of negative x, you can tell they're equal. So g of negative x is equal to g of x, therefore g is even. Let's check for odd. We need to check if g of negative x is equal minus g of x. Now g of negative x, we already have done it. It's right here. It's x4 minus 3x8. Now what does it mean minus g of x? Means you multiply g of x by -1 minus g of x. What is g of x? x4 minus 3x8. Now distribute the -1. This is minus x4 plus 3x8. Now compare this to that. They're not the same. One is plus minus, the other one is minus plus. Now I can say g of negative x is not equal minus g of x. Therefore, g is not odd. So it's not odd, but it's even. Alright, that's it for these examples.